Well, willkommen, Hoinan, and welcome to the Belgian Grand Prix as brought to you by Full Throttle Racing's Division 2. This is our 8th season, and it's our 6th round of the season after last week's race was cancelled, unfortunately. But we're back for a race night here at the beautiful Spa circuit, and we're into Q2 already with the Mercedes of Botta on first one out of the pits. My name is Webbo, here to take you through tonight's race, and as usual, and if you are joining us, do say hello, tell us what who you're here to support, and hopefully we're looking forward to a really good night's racing. In terms of our drivers' standings, as Botta just heads towards, let's talk standings after the first run, shall we? But Botta is about to tackle the Spa. Apologies, I'm not laughing at Botta, I'm laughing at the juxtaposition of what I'm saying. But Hashim, let's join Hashim instead, who goes through the bus stop chicane at the end of the circuit and is about to get himself his first lap attempted, breaking down at the 70-meter point there for the La Source hairpin. Will now run flat out, building through the gears, hoping that the track is fully gripped in now to go flat out through the Eau Rouge, and next Radiant and onto the Camel Straight. DRS is available to the drivers before the turn before the Camel Straight begins proper. Now we're into Les Coms, the chicane, right then left, now into the understeery Malmedy that cambers off to the left hand side of the circuit, and then we go down the hill to Rivage. Try and hook the car into that little gutter on the inside, bring the car across for No Name corner or Jackie X, depending on your current opinion. Now it is one of the most difficult turns. It's Pouhon, avoiding those inside curves as much as possible before getting the car back to full throttle. Down into Les Fagnes now. Nice wide open chicane before the Stavolo corners, building the revs, but keeping the car in a high gear is Hashim, just trying to make sure the car straightens up nicely, and full throttle then all the way down this straight. The next corner is Blanchimont, but you don't really need to worry about it very much unless it's teaming it down with rain, and you're looking for the braking point then for the bus stop. Slight incline, much more open than it looks from the entry point. The bus stop chicane dealt with again, low grip on the exit, make sure you've hooked up, and it's a 1:44.0, faster than the cars went during Q1. Here comes Gachui Levy, who is going to see how he fares up against Hashim's time. He gets second at 44.293. Uzi got himself a 1:44.8, and Chums a 1:46.1. Let's see what the Ferraris are like. Well, 0-2 finishing off his lap now, and getting himself away from the bus stop. Staying right, of course, for the shortest trip to the line. That's a 44.4. And Pampern was next up. We're just going to see a lot of bus stop sections here, aren't we? And here comes Pampern then to the line. Bright yellow helmet in the Ferrari. Gets a 5th place, 1:45.519. We've also got, who else have we got on track? Just Sir Hamrick, who made sure that he used every available minute of Q1 for warm-up. Good evening to Umer, who joins us. Umer, hope Premier Division went well. And I know that you're here to support the McLarens, Uzi in particular, but also Hashim, you tend to cheer on. Let's take you through those standings then. Just a point of housekeeping: if we do lose the stream, remember to hit refresh on the channel homepage, and we are hoping to have more drivers than we currently have in the qualifying session join us for the formation lap. But the standings at the moment: 110 points sees Avalak in the lead of the championship, despite also being the owner and main admin. Hashim is second on 83, and Smirch Django, a reserve driver, currently on 65 in 3rd place. Stoffel has 60 points in 4th. Chums is in 5th place with 54. It's Midas, not with us tonight, sadly, in 6th, joint 6th, on 45 points with 0-2. And then we've got Nick Gishin in 8th on 39, Uzi on 37, Shakes and Super D a joint 10th place on 36. The only driver yet to score points in our championship is Top Gun, but he's not here at the moment. I don't know if we're going to see him later on. But Sir Hamrick about to start his next lap, so let's ride on board while I take you through the combined constructor standings. Red Bull Racing are on top with 556, massively far ahead of Ferrari on 309, AlphaTauri on 302, and then we have under 300 points McLaren 276, Aston Martin in 5th place 237, Mercedes 222, and then the next group under 200 points, Alfa Romeo 177, Alpine in 8th place 163, Haas are in 9th on 145, and Williams long way back, presumably fewer drivers in the Williams team, overall on just 55 points. And Sir Hamrick has lost the car heading into Malmedy, unfortunately. So let's have a look at one of those championship leading Red Bull, shall we? Out of last source goes Stoffel, downhill run to the dip of Eau Rouge and then through the Raidillon corner. He's not lifting, I'm sure, it's just the aero weight on the car that is slowing the engine note. It goes down and up and over the crest and bumps. Now into Les Comps, holding the car in 4th and 5th gear for the right then left of Les Comps. Malmedy, always low grip on exit, but got that done nicely. Another understeer off camber corner of No Name or Jackie Hicks before looking for a good turning point of Pouant, risking a touch of the curb but not the actual risen part of the curb, and just keeping a good line through there. Next into Le Fagna, and back out again through the Stavolo section. Back to full throttle. Very long lap here. A lot can happen in a lap of Spa, especially if there is any weather connotations through here. We'll hope to avoid issues with weather as we're a little bit on the late side here tonight. Through the bus stop we go, rumbling over the ridged curbs goes Stoffel for the line then. 5th place 144.774. It looks like Sir Hamrick might be on a lap. John Hannes has gone onto the medium tyre. He's going to try a lap on the medium tyre, see if he can save a set of softs in hand for the race. Through Blanchimont, and just finishing off the lap now. I imagine that the mediums will come to their own by sector 3 on this long lap. Heads to the line then, John Hannes, P8, 145.684. So the only driver currently on the bubble for elimination is Sir Hamrick. He's in the pits, I'm assuming trying to get some grip on the rear of that car with some wing adjustment, because he's certainly struggling for grip right now. Looks like one of the Ferraris is coming out. The top 3 have retired, so our fastest time of 44.0 from Hashim. I wonder if we will see a 143 in Q3 today. It looks to be that we're headed that way. Sure. So Hamrick's still in the pits, not ready to go out again for his second and what will end up being his final run in this lap. An invalidated lap here from Shakes. It's got about, what, 2/3 of a battery pack remaining. This pit lane is incredibly narrow, and if the drivers are in low grip conditions, either due to weather or excessive tyre wear, they really will struggle. No Avalak racing tonight. Avalak leading the championship but unable to race tonight, it seems. Or at least he was. I know he was here, but quite where he's gone to, I'm not entirely sure. I know he has some additional pulls on his time lately, but I was hoping we might still see him race. Botta has retired from the session. He has retired from 9th, so risking it a little bit. here. So Hamrick has finally started his outlap. He's on the bubble. Chums is his aiming point, 46.1. Botta only needs to be beaten by Chums and Sir Hamrick and end up getting himself eliminated. Pampern just going here to try and make sure he's in a good rhythm for his Q3 appearance. I don't think he is going to be at risk of losing position, especially now that Botta has retired. Shakes also retires from the session, so too with John Hannes, and Pampern will cross the line, will he? No improvement this time out, so all eyes really on Chums and Sir Hamrick. Chums, I think, just about to come out of the pits, so making sure between them that they will get full amount of screen time and full pressure to see if they can get themselves through to the final part of qualifying. Big snap there, coming through Lefania from Hamrick. Still not happy with the balance on the car, so it looks to be a bit of a difficult night for Sir Hamrick so far. Heavy braking into the bus stop. And then across the line to start his last attempt here. I suppose it's possible if something goes wrong and in validation he could end up going around again, but with Chums out on the circuit as well, only Pampern and Stoffel remaining in the session, so there'll be no complaints about traffic in this Q2 session. It's all on Sir Hamrick here. Full throttle, of course, 8th gear. Very late on the brakes with that slight incline and inviting open section of the entry. Dear, not again. Around he goes. That was a definite clatter on the barrier, and Sir Hamrick struggling massively for grip. Whether Chums needs to really keep going here or not, he won't know that Sir Hamrick just had a problem, so he will keep pushing, I'm sure. Sir Hamrick's lap will not trouble the top 10, and he's in fact retired. I think he's even retired on track, as Sir Hamrick decided that tonight isn't his night in qualifying trim. So I'm pretty sure we know who our top 10 will be, so let's just enjoy the ride through the beautiful forests of Spa here on board the Aston Martin of Chums. Nice wide entry, not risking too much though. Very smooth going through Malmedy. Hopefully saving some tyres for the end of the lap. Really important tyre management on the soft tyre around this long, arduous circuit. Nicely through. Go on. Slightest hint that the car was getting loose through Fania. I wonder if the rears were already fading. They will cool off on the long run down the back straight here. He needs good rear grip on the exit of the bus stop in order to get those last few meters maximised. Chums greedy for a faster time here. He thinks when he started this lap he was thinking he was defending that 10th position, but obviously with Sir Hamrick now fully retiring, if Chums is watching that, he will know that, but he crosses the line after the checkered flag to secure 8th position, so we know that he can put in an 8th position time, although I think some of those leaders have not fully shown their hand just yet. So going through to the next session of qualifying, the leader is Hashim at the moment, some quarter of a second faster than Kachui Levy, and then there is 0-2 in third, Pampern in fourth, Shakes, Stoffel, Uzi, Chums, John Hannes and Botta, and unfortunately not making it through. So Hamrick in P11, but 1:44.0 is the target time for the drivers to start with. I think we will see some faster times from those top 5 or 6 drivers come qualifying 3, which is about to start. I hope you're enjoying coverage so far tonight. If you are, leave a little like on the video. Remember, you can make sure you subscribe to the channel here, and you can follow my output on socials at WebORed5. So we continue in bright sunshine here. Oh, so Hamrick has left the session already, so I think he might be suffering some issues tonight. It certainly seems to be dipping in and out of the session. But we have Hashim out second this time. Usually very quick to come out of the pits, but not quite as quick as Shakes. Although, of course, the AlphaTauri had less distance to travel to the end of the pit lane. Wonder what you guys watching make of all the new liveries. I know there's a fairly minor change to the AlphaTauri. Not convinced myself it's a change for the better. You guys all make of that one. And the final Ferrari just coming out of the pits now, so all the drivers keen to get a move on. Of course, they only start with 12 minutes in this final session, and it is a real challenge to get 3 hot laps in on fresh tyres through Q3. So you do have to really get on with it if you want to try and achieve that. You'll probably find some drivers taking a more relaxed approach, settling for two fast laps or 2 fast stints. That looked a little bit hot on the exit of the first part of the bus stop, just for a nice wide entry to the second part. Best slingshot possible down the little start-finish straight. Now we go through La Source and onto the GT start-finish straight, a little curved straight towards Eau Rouge. Hold your breath every time. Make sure that the apex is exactly where you thought it was when you pointed the car going through there. DRS open, of course, down this Kemmel straight. We should see some action, certainly lap 1 or 2. Heading down into Les Combes here. Always the best place to start a race in pole here, unless you can really nail your getaway. Through Rivage and into Ix. Who on next? That's a lot of entry curb for Shakes. He's obviously feeling confident on the inside. Now we go into Le Fagna. Hard work of the lap has really been done. Now it's just a very classic racing track corners here. Goes wide. Had to just delay throttle application through Stavolo 1. Let's wait here then. Now it's just patiently waiting for the braking point into the bus stop. How late do we go? That was before the 50 metre board. We may see some drivers actually nail the 50 metre board or later, but Shakes to the line then. His first lap, a 1:44.395, closely followed by Hashim on circuit, who gets a 43.6, much faster from Hashim than he went in Q2. So he saved a little bit back, but Uzi spins on the way out of the bus stop. He needs to go ahead and complete that lap, because his next lap could be pressured, but he doesn't want to get in anybody else's way. John Hannes, 44.9, Chums 45.2, Stoffel in 5th, 45.4, with Botta a 45.6. Uzi in the end ended up, what was it? 10 seconds off the pace. Gachui Levi, his first lap incoming. No, not happy, Gachui Levi, and the last Ferrari out of the pits was 0-2. So he is heading his way just through Blanchimont now. Absolutely hammering the gearbox in the downshifts. Keeping right for the line, and that's a second place time, 43.8. The only other driver to get into the 43s on this first run, and that was pretty neat from 0-2. But the provisional pole sits with Hashim. He has a 43.632. What could Uzi have done on that first lap? Hopefully we will find out in his second attempt. But for now, his teammate has the provisional pole position. Drivers just heading into the pits now. Shakes, who was first out, is first back in, as you would expect. His teammate shortened his in-lap. Hashim is getting out of everybody's way, but he doesn't necessarily know that everybody else is has finished, has done their first laps and are all on the way in, so he's just playing it extra safe here. Uzi makes the pit lane. We'll just see if the other drivers get on into the pits safely. Very, very easy to lose grip on the entry for the pit lane speed limit line and end up clattering into the wall. We've seen cars lose a wheel in this pit lane entry point. So with 5.5 minutes to go, we will be back on track again very soon. I know 0-2 is just bringing the car in, while the first of the Alpha Tauris is on his way out of the pits. So we will not have an empty track, thankfully. Looks like it's Gachui Levi who has come out after aborting that early lap. So he might decide to go to try and do a 2 fast lap stretch now. He would have had to have just added a little bit of fuel to the car. So let's see, Gachui Levi in the Alpha Tauri, car number 8. So Henrik has made it back to the lobby, which is good news. Not too much by way of wind if those track flags are anything to go by on the outside of Rivage corner. So ideal conditions here for the drivers to tackle Q3. The track will be at its absolute grippiest after the track evolution through the entire qualifying hour. Just under 4 minutes to go. No drivers attempting here to do 3 fast stints. It is just going to be the 2, and I imagine we'll see some others coming out of the pits shortly. There comes a Mercedes on his way out of the pits and a McLaren. So just starting to make sure that each driver's got some space to really go for it. Not the best start position of this hot lap for Gachui Levi there. Very narrow on his entry to the last corner, down into La Source then. Going to hope the other drivers get out of his way. Could get a small tow if his teammate was a bit quicker out the pits, but doesn't want to play anything too risky here. Again, another driver just on the right hand side of the track for him. See where Gachui Levi had his problem in his first flying lap. Into sector 2 now. Through the X corner, over the rumble strip. one gear down and holding the car nicely through Pouhon. Stamps on the throttle, mid part of the Fania 1. Similar through Stavelot, feeling confident in the grip of the car. His handbrake's gone again. So he really is struggling to stay in the lobby. I believe there's still power issues on a Wednesday night in South Africa. Through the bus stop we go, and keeping the lap alive this time, and straight into second place. A 43.720 splits Hashim and 0-2. Very nicely done indeed from him. Next up will be Uzi, who is on an outlap currently, so I want to make sure we see fast laps from the top of the standings, but we've got time, I think, here to see first sector from Uzi at least. He lost all of his time, of course, in the exit of the bus stop that previous lap, so his first two sectors should be representative. Yardstick to measure this lap by. There's the open DRS. Mercedes not doing brilliantly so far in this Q3, and that is a purple first sector for Uzi, 26 hundredths faster than he went the first time. Very nice indeed. Let's check out